Hello and welcome to This Tango Voice. I'm your host, William Lee. Today we hear from Amy, who spent 6 months a year in Buenos Aires and 6 months in the UK. I first met Amy 3 years ago at a milonga in London, and she gave me some great suggestions for my first trip to Buenos Aires. She shares the story of how she discovered tango, how it became a significant part of her life, and how she manages her life around tango, her work, and her family and friends. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Okay, I can do. So, my name's Amy. I am a tango addict. I have to admit to that from the very beginning. But my habit is under control to a certain extent. I am very fortunate that I live half the year in Buenos Aires and half the year in the UK or in Europe somewhere, depending on when it is. But just have a very fortunate life. It's a lifestyle that I really love. It's not what I intended originally, but I do really enjoy being here and there.
Yeah.
So I get to live my best life really,
Okay.
which is really, really good.
So for a bit of context, I met Amy about 3 years ago, maybe,
Yeah.
at Corrientes in London, no longer. And I think I was planning to come to BA. I was planning my first trip to BA, and Amy mentioned that she spent half the year here, and gave me lots of tips on sort of where to go, which teachers to go to, and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of how we met, and we're catching up in Buenos Aires, in an ice cream shop, in a very beautiful day. This is 27 degrees in the shade. Okay, and so tell me a little bit about how you discovered tango.
Well, I had always liked to dance, but life is busy and had children, and it was difficult to fit in, all other things. And then in 2010, I split up with my partner, and I'd moved house, and it was Christmas, and it was all a bit bleak. And I just thought, well, what are the things that make me happy? And my resolution for the rest of my life, but also for this year, is to find things that make me happy. And I realised that dance was something that really brought me a lot of joy, and that I wanted to do more of it. So I kind of ended up just trying different dance styles, and I did quite a lot of modern jive for a while, and then
In the UK. Yeah.
and then I discovered some tango. I sort of had an idea that I wanted to do a bit of travelling, and I wanted to be able to dance in more places than where I was visiting. So tango seemed to be kind of a universal dance. So I did a bit of tango and a bit of salsa to think, well, then I've got dances that I can find in lots of places.
Yeah.
And I did love it, and I danced a lot. I learned to dance in Brighton. I did quite a lot of tango in Brighton, and a bit further afield, and there was a really nice group of people who were learning to dance at the same time. So it was very friendly, very sociable, just really, really nice.
Okay.
And then my children were growing up and going off to university, and I thought, well, I've got an opportunity now to do a bit of travelling, which I'd never had the chance to do before, because I'd had my children young and been married, and I wanted to kind of experience dancing in other places. So it was a kind of theme of the trip would be that it would be about dancing around the world and finding places where dances originated and meeting people. And it seemed like originally I was going to go on my own, and it seemed like a way to actually become part of different communities, because if you go somewhere and you can dance, you don't speak the language, you can just join in.
The community.
Yeah. And then my sister, who also I'd introduced to dancing and absolutely loved it as well, wanted to join in. So we went on a 3-month trip of places we just wanted to visit, but also things that had dance-related things, and we did quite a lot of research beforehand of where we could dance in different places.
Yeah.
And we went to Cuba and danced salsa, and we went to Australia and danced West Coast swing, although probably that should have been America, but we wanted to go to Australia anyway. And we did a bit of jive in Australia, and it was really lovely, because you go to one dancing and someone will say, oh, we're going dancing somewhere else tomorrow night, and it might be a totally different dance style, but you just kind of became part of the community really quickly, and it was lovely. And part of it was I was kind of trying to explore where I might want to spend some time, and when I came to Buenos Aires, I just loved the city so much that I just wanted to spend more time here.
Yeah.
So much so that I went to Rio in Brazil and came straight back again.
Yeah, so you spent a day there.
Well, maybe it was 2 days, but not very long.
long.
It was raining there and due to rain for 2 weeks, so it was kind of that as well. And there were other reasons why I left, but I found a hotel and then an Airbnb for the week that I had spare before we went somewhere else, and just came back and enjoyed it. And already, even in that 3 weeks that I was here, I'd already started to meet people, and I found that just everybody was really friendly, not just in Tango, but in general. The city just kind of has a lovely vibe that I really like anyway, and there's so much to do and so much to see.
What time of year was that? Do you remember?
So I came in November.
Oh, okay. So around same time.
About now, yeah.
Beautiful springtime.
Yeah, springtime. So it was nice weather, and we'd also kind of moved around quite a lot. And this was a big chunk of time in one place, because we knew we wanted to spend time learning tango. But then when I got here and I came to dance schools, and they go, "You're only here 3 weeks? That's not any time at all." And I think that's such a long time. Now I know differently, but at the time it felt like that was a really big chunk of time, and I could achieve a lot in that time. And I did learn a lot, but the thing with this city is I always leave wanting more. I never leave thinking I'm done. I always think there's so much more to learn in tango, but also so many more things to do in the city, because you never run out of things to do. There's always amazing music, art, museums, food. It just is a city that just keeps on giving and has a big place in my heart. So yeah, I do just love it. And as I say, I've just found people really welcoming, really, even though I'm not here all the time, they're always, every time I come back, they're pleased to see me, and it's just, I feel part of the community here, and I have a life here that feels like a proper life, where I'm living and working. I work remotely, living and working here. I have a group of friends, and it was a time when I wasn't well when I was here, and people just helped so much. People were so kind. They'd take me to the hospital. They'd help me translate things. They really looked after me really well. And I mean, possibly people are like that everywhere in the world, but it just felt that it was really easy to access people's help and care. Because people don't feel, as busy. They make time for each other a lot more. Yeah. So people have the time, make the time
for each other.
For each other, which is really, really nice. And also, I think that when I'm here, it's summer, obviously, so I don't know what it's like in the winter. I've never been here in the winter, but people are obviously more relaxed in warm weather anyway. So maybe it's part of it, but. It just, the plane door opens, I smell Argentine, and I feel the warm air, and I just get, I'm here, I can relax, I'm kind of home. It's just a feeling of renewal and healing, and just being
so
part
was it
of it.
more the city, or was it more tango?
Oh, that's a really hard question.
Because it sounds like you explore different dances and different cities.
Yes.
And for one reason or another, you decided that you would spend a lot of time in Buenos Aires.
So it was both, and it was probably both from the beginning. But it started with my love affair with tango, and I think because if that hadn't been right, I probably wouldn't have fallen in love with the city as much, because I think my life has to have tango in it. Especially at that time. Yeah. So I've kind of looked around the world about where I might want to live, and tango is always top of the
okay.
list of
Yeah.
where I want to
Okay.
be.
Important criterion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know why it might seem strange, but it also reminds me of Brighton, which is kind of my hometown. So
Yeah.
there's probably that bit of it being familiar
Yeah.
in its vibe as well.
Okay.
It's quite free spirited and a little bit. Probably I'm going to offend Brighton people, but grungy, but arty,
Yeah.
and it just feels nice.
Okay.
And I did go to other places on my trip, and there were
Yeah.
other places I liked.
Mm-hmm.
I danced some really nice tango in Sydney, and really liked Sydney.
Okay.
Can't remember. I don't think I danced tango anywhere else, but there were other places on the short list, but Buenos Aires definitely one in the places that I went to.
Yeah.
And I never expected to still be coming back here and spending 6 months a year. When I first came, I was here for 3 weeks. Well, in the end, it turned to be 5 weeks, but I was only here for a short time. But that short time made me think I want to spend more time here. So the following year, I came back and spent 3 months here, which felt like a really big chunk of time.
Okay.
But it still wasn't enough. So,
By the end of the 3 or 5 weeks you were here,
yeah.
You went back to the UK and you thought, I will make a longer trip and stay.
Yes.
Okay. And
Yeah.
that had to work with your work and...
Yeah, so at the
Work
time
around.
I was running my own business, so I did have some
okay.
flexibility.
Yeah.
But I was wanting to have a bit more freedom from needing to be in the UK in order to be able to come and dance here and live here. So in the end, I sold my business, and
Okay.
so I came the second time. I was still running my own business, so I took the 3 months, and because my business was quite seasonal, the months between November and kind of January were the quiet times of the year, so it did
okay.
kind of fit in quite well.
Yeah.
And then I came here and went, no, I've got to do more of this. So I went back, I converted my big flat into 2 small flats so that I could rent them out while I was away.
Okay.
I found a job where I only had to work in the summer and got paid for the whole year.
Oh, okay.
So I could come back
That's great.
being paid.
Yeah.
And so I came back for another 3 months then, and then decided that still wasn't enough. and also I wasn't able to do anything in the summer because I was working so many hours in the summer to kind of work the hours for the year that I didn't see my family or my friends or get to dance much tango, and I was constantly sleep deprived, that it's just like, well, this isn't really working. So I then found a job that was totally remote, that I could work from here and there, and I was very, very fortunate to find that job because it was before the pandemic, before remote working was really around.
Yeah.
And also they were all remote and all in different countries, so it wasn't I was the odd one out and being in a different time zone and everyone else was in England at home. Everyone was spread out across the globe, so everyone was on different time zones.
Yeah.
So I could have a bit more flexibility in when I worked. Because obviously when you come here, you want to dance at Malongas, you want to be out, you want to do classes all day, you want to be out till 4 o'clock in the morning, you want to go to sleep, get up, do tango and just eat, drink, breathe tango. And that doesn't really work if you're trying to earn a living as well.
Sure, yeah.
In the longer term, it's fine for 2 weeks
Yeah.
or 4 weeks
Yeah.
if you've taken a sabbatical or something. But
Yes.
you kind of soon find that you've actually got to
Yeah, I
change that a
imagine
bit.
life as a resident to be very different to life as a sort of a 2-week tango tourist.
Yeah.
Where you go out to 2 or 4 or 6, depending on.
Yeah, yeah,
And then you sort of wake up around noon and then repeat. When you've actually
Yeah.
got a job, you've got
Yeah.
to hold down and
yeah. And sometimes you have to start at 9 a.m. UK time, which when we're in
Yeah.
British summertime is 6 a.m.
6
So,
yeah.
and you've got to prepare before that. So, yeah, you have some early times. And I have tried different ways of working. So I've tried staying up all night because at the time someone I need to speak to was in or worked with closely was in Thailand. So no time zone didn't really work very well at all. So I would work all night and then sleep all day and then go out. Well, I don't know. I went to Malonga, then I started work about 3 a.m. and then worked until kind of lunchtime and then slept. I tried that.
Okay.
And I tried working kind of evenings and then finishing work at 2 a.m. and then going out.
Okay.
And then sleeping during the day.
Yeah.
But because other people were working different hours, I'd also have to get up and do something in the daytime as well. So it didn't really work. So I kind of just went, no, okay, I just have to do the go home early on school nights.
Okay.
And that kind of works most of the time.
Okay. So it's a bit more measured now.
Yeah. And I'm very fortunate now that I only work 3 days a week as well. So I can have 4 days of as much tango as I like if I want to.
Yeah.
But then other thing, you still have your life chores to do, and you still have other things in life as well as tango. So, and I think because it's there all the time and there's so much of it, you can have a balance. And there are a lot of other people who are also in the same situation as me, and they're going to work as well. So there are still people that I see regularly, but we do something earlier in the evening. We go to an early milonga, or we just go for dinner because we've all got to get up and go to work the next day.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe that's just rather sensible, but I can't keep the pace up for that long.
So describe sort of what your typical day is now, including a sort of a work day and a non-work day.
So work.
Because I see you quite a lot in the studio.
You do see me quite a lot in the studio. I am kind of changing my hours a little bit to kind of fit the course that we're doing at the moment.
Okay.
But so usually I'll start work around 8:30ish if I haven't got an early morning meeting. So I'm very fortunate I make the meeting times for most of my team. So we start kind of lunchtime-ish UK time, and they're mostly in the Philippines, so they're working through their night anyway. So that there is some flexibility. So we cross over. So most days I don't have to start till 8:30, and then one day we have an early meeting, so I have to start at 6.
Okay.
And then I work till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon normally, and then I'll go to a class, maybe 6:30 class, then or go to a milonga locally to me. So, and I have I think I told you I have a drop-in policy rather than I'm going out policy.
Oh,
so,
I see, yeah.
So if I'm on my way back from somewhere and there's a milonga I like on the way, I'll just go. I pop in for, like, if I'm working the next day, I pop in for about an hour or an hour and a half, get 4 or 5 tangos in, just to keep my tango levels up. But then I go home after that. I kind of go, I've had my fill for a work night, and then go home. So those are kind of the work days.
Yeah.
And I try and prepare like food and stuff, so I don't have to give up the tango time for that. And then
during those work days, there's very little time to eat or to cook.
So you haven't got really time to cook anything, and the food is great, and you can eat out really easily, but I do prefer to cook at home, and more vegetables when I cook at home.
Yes, it's quite hard to eat vegetables outside.
Yeah. And then on a non-work day, I kind of often go to a nice park and read a book, or I maybe do a lunchtime class or an afternoon milonga if there is one that I like. I'm trying to learn Spanish, still trying to learn Spanish. So I'll usually have at least one Spanish lesson over the week in that time, and do some Spanish homework and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And mostly catch up with friends. I think, I don't know, it's maybe my circle of friends, but since the pandemic, I think my friends go to less milongas than they did. They sort of, or maybe it's just, I mean, I don't know, it just feels like people are not going out as much to milongas who live here.
Yeah. What do you think prompted that?
I think probably different reasons, but I think the Argentinians are not going, well, I don't know. It feels like the Argentinians can't afford to go out as much as well. So
Sure,
I think,
things are much more
so I
expensive.
think the people who are living here are also doing not an every night or going out thing. They're going out maybe a couple of nights a week to a milonga they really like, instead of
prices
going.
Of milongas have gone up.
The price of everything's gone up. So people who have come here, they're not all. We're not all rich expats, even if they're not working, they've got budgets that a few years ago you felt like you were very rich and you could go out all the time and stuff, and now it's like, okay, I need to just temper it a little bit. And I know people that used to go to 2 or 3 in a night, so they'd start off at 1 and they go to the next one and stuff. So I think it's quality rather than quantity a bit more now.
Okay. Yeah.
And you go where your friends are going rather
Okay.
than just so if you live here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I don't know. That's just my experience of things.
So you mentioned and your friends here, you met them through Tango mostly, or from a range of other...
I think probably majority through Tango.
Through Tango. Okay.
Yeah, and they're a mix. Some are Argentinian, some are expats. I haven't mentioned DNI, but DNI, the dance school that was here when I came, was a great vehicle for meeting a lot of people, because that's where probably it was the only place in town that everybody could arrive, get off the plane, go there, and be in the tango community as soon as you arrived. And because they had like a coffee shop and they had a shop there, and it was all everybody's dancing in the corridors and in the rooms.
Sounds a bit like a tango hostel kind of environment.
So it's kind of got that vibe, and you'd see everybody, and then people would arrange to all go to a milonga together, and because they'd seen each other during the day. And there were private lessons, and I think there were 2 classes, maybe 3 classes in a day. So 3 classes in a day. So you sort of saw the same people. And with me being here longer, I saw people like on cycles. So this person would always be here in March for 4 weeks. So as you kind of years pass by, you kind of build up that thing of, it must be March because so-and-so's here, and then someone would leave, and then they would be replaced by somebody new who just arrived. So there's always a steady stream of people, and everyone's there because they love tango, so they've got the same vibe, and the teachers are really lovely, and it was just really nice, and it was a good way. And while it wasn't a good school, I kind of felt a bit sorry for people who arrived, because you've got to find your way. You haven't got that community already made to kind of tell you how to get a SIM card for your phone, and how to where to go to buy shoes, and where's a good place to have dinner. And there was less opportunity, which is partly sort of why I like, people are going to BA, I like to kind of say, these are really good places to go and things, because I
set them up.
and I want everyone to love it as much as I do. So I kind of.
Well, I certainly loved it 2 years ago.
Good. I think it's really lovely that we get to meet up here now as well. But I just want, if someone comes to Buenos Aires and they don't love it, just think, that's just so sad, because just so much. And I have, people from the UK have kind of come on tours, and they've not seen the Buenos Aires that I have, and I know, sorry. But and it just seems a shame. And then I've kind of introduced them to people, and they go, "Oh wow, I can see why you like it now."
Okay.
So I think people's experience of Buenos Aires obviously is going to be different depending on where they're staying, where they're dancing, who they're with, and also I came on my own, and that was quite a scary thing to do for me. And it's a country I didn't know the language and stuff, and having a group of people that were supportive really helps that. But also,
because DNI was quite international.
Yes, it was. I mean, there were a lot of Argentinians who went to dance there, but there was a lot of. I met a lot of people that were doing a sort of lifestyle similar to mine, of being here for 6 months and somewhere else for 6 months, but their breadth of people's experiences was so different. So I met someone who used to milk goats for 6 months in the summer, in the European summer, and then come here for 6 months. There's someone else who, I think they'd invented a app a long time ago now, and they kind of spent 6 months here and then 6 months in France because they were French, and someone else who came for 3 months at a time, and just people finding different ways to sort of maintain that lifestyle. And
it's always European summer to Argentinian summer, or is anyone particularly keen on winters?
I don't know, because I'm not here in the winter. No.
Nor are you in the UK during winter. So.
No, I don't know. I did meet an Argentinian man who he's Argentinian, but he used to do the reverse. So he would go to the UK for the UK summer, and so do the same as me, but reverse. But he lives it. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everyone's chasing the summers.
Yeah.
Oh, this is.
But why wouldn't you, really?
Okay. And you also mentioned that, despite having done this for on and off, I don't know, 6-7 years? Eight?
I started in 2015-ish, so 16, so 8 years or so.
Okay.
But pandemic, I didn't manage it yet.
You mentioned that this is still. It's not a sort of a routine entirely in your life. You still, every time you're back to the UK, you consider, will I go back to Buenos Aires the next year?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. Why is it not sort of an automatic response? Yeah.
I think I never intended it to be a constant thing in my life, and every time I come, I enjoy it and think this is wonderful. But I go, will I be coming back again? I don't know. When I first get here, and then when I want to leave, I think I've still got more that I want to achieve. More I want to come back for. But I don't normally book the return until nearer, when I'm back in the UK and nearer the time of coming back.
Yeah.
Partly because I have children in the UK and family and friends in the UK, so I want to see them. It's kind of hard to explain, but I kind of feel like I suppose my thing is a lot of things have happened to my life that have changed me. So I had cancer, and that kind of changed my life in a long way. Then we had the pandemic, and that changed it and stuff. And, marriage breaking down and things. So I suppose I'm not very set in having a strict structure. And every time I think, well, I maybe want to explore another place to live where there's tango. So I've kind of been looking at maybe going to live in Lisbon or like Barcelona or various places. So I don't really want to close those options down. But so far, this just has my heart and pulls me back each time. And I suppose I'll do it until something changes. And I also think my children are getting older. Maybe if they have children, I might not want to be away for so long. But so there might be a different pattern. So I think I will always be coming back here as long as I'm able to. But it might be that I come for 2 months at a time, or and I have thought about living here full time.
Okay.
But partly I don't like cold, so I wouldn't particularly enjoy the winter. But
Have you
also,
never seen the winter here?
No, but I stayed till I think the middle of June before now, and it's got really quite chilly, and I was just like, I should have left a few weeks ago. Also, it's harder for me to work in my job in British summertime, because the hours are different. So 3 hours behind is very easy, but 4 hours is not so easy. But I would miss my children, and I enjoy my life somewhere in the UK. So
that's fair.
So to do
the
both
UK
is
is
great.
quite nice in the summer.
And it's to me, it's actually a perfect setup, because I get to enjoy here and all that it offers, but I also get to enjoy the UK with friends and family and British summertime and all the things that offers. And the last couple of years I haven't danced much tango in the UK, probably because I do so much here and I've had other things to do. But I do enjoy the dancing in Europe as well, and I did Lisbon Tango Festival last year, and I'd like to do more festivals. So it feels like a life of two parts, but they kind of both have lots of merits. And I have friends and family. Well, I don't have family here, but they feel like family. I have friends and family in both places, and I don't want to give up either of those.
I see.
I enjoy that, and people who are genuinely part of my life seem okay with me not being here for 6 months and then return.
Know that you'll appear when the weather gets warm again.
And maybe they make more effort because I'm only here for 6 months as well. They get a 6 month break from me.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. I think it's good to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about how tango is and to what extent it's similar or different to tango in Europe or the UK.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Yeah, so tell me a little bit about the milongas in Buenos Aires, or at least the milongas that you like and you choose to go to, and to what extent they differ to the milongas in the UK.
Well, for me, I love the fact that there's such a breadth of different types of milongas here. So you can choose to go to one that's very formal and you're dressed in tango garb and very formal dancing styles. And then you can go to one that's got terrible concrete floor and be very down and
I'm surprised at how tolerant they are at the quality of the floor they dance on. Like anything goes sometimes,
and there's some that a lot of tourists go to, and there's others that are just little tango rooms in the middle of kind of the city that nobody really knows about, and people are just meeting up with their friends and dancing, and it's just very low key. Yeah. So and I kind of prefer the ones that are low key. I'm not really into the formal ones as much. Yeah. So I like this kind of small, dark and dingy ones. Okay. But I am particular about the floors.
You want to be too hard on your knees.
And my feet hurt. So I do like a good floor. But and then there's lots of outside ones in the summer as well, and I do like dancing outside. That's really nice. Yeah. They also have very different vibes. So some of them can be very friendly and people dance with everybody else, and others can be harder to capaceo and harder to get dances, and you have to go regularly to kind of be accepted.
To break in, yeah.
So it just depends on like my mood as to which ones I want to go to, but I do kind of have a few regular ones that I go to, and I tend to not go very far, so I'm a bit lazy, and probably because I'm working as well, I just tend to go to ones that are easy to get to from my house. Yeah. So there's probably quite a lot that are very good, but
that's not in your radius.
No, and there's so many choices every night that you can't do all of them.
So you said there's a lot of variety,
yes,
both in terms of kind of how formal it is. I also noticed that here it's almost, it can be very casual, and it could also be like just kind of going out, like to a club, but people dance tango as well as other things. So it's quite different to maybe the way a tango milonga is run in the UK.
Yes,
where it's much more of a, here's an event and we go and dance.
Yeah.
People don't sit around,
chat,
drink, maybe even have dinner.
Yeah. Yes, it's a social event where there's some dancing a lot. Those are the ones I like. People are coming, they're meeting, they're chatting, they're eating, and then they're doing some dancing. Yeah. And to them, they don't have to be up at every tanda and dance every tanda. They're socialising with their friends and doing some dancing. Yeah. Whereas I think in the European ones, we go to dance and we dance all night. And if you don't dance all night, you kind of feel a bit like you've missed out a bit. That's my experience anyway.
And are those type of milongas, do you find it difficult to cabaseo people who are perhaps sitting at a table with some friends or?
Probably, but it doesn't really matter because I'm probably there with a group of friends as well.
I see.
And also, depending on the venue, you kind of know where to sit or stand to show that you kind of
show
want.
you're keen to dance.
So you're not interrupting people who are not looking to dance.
I often feel this. Yeah. So if I were going to dance, I wouldn't necessarily keep to a table.
No.
I would just kind of float around and indicate that I'm sort of available.
Yeah. I think that's the same. I mean, it depends on the venue. Some venues you are expected to sit.
You're given a seat
and you're 5 rows back. The kind of location is key in those environments. But I prefer the more relaxed kind of vibe, I think.
So that's the sort of different milongas. In terms of, do people dance differently? Yeah?
Yes. Well, yes, I think, probably. Yes, I mean, I'm quoting Katia, our teacher, but her view is the Argentinians dance a bit more grounded, a bit more lower to the ground than Europeans. Okay. And kind of a bit more heavy.
Oh, okay.
and probably that is my experience as well. Kind of, I'm not saying lazy isn't the right word, but it's kind of more grungy, more not in a really formal setting, but kind of more of a heavy is probably the best.
I see.
Yeah.
Like less performative.
Yeah.
So it's not up high.
And it's more. I think we probably in Europe have a bit more of a standoffish way of dancing, whereas it's kind of more embraced and more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you feel the embrace being different?
Yeah.
Embrace is different.
Yeah. It's kind of more enveloping, kind of comfortableness. I mean, Argentinians kiss and hug every time they meet. You just have the plumber around your house and he gives you a hug and a kiss when he gets there, even if you have never met him before.
Practice,
So I think the tango's a step further on from that, really. Yeah.
Okay. And is this okay? I think that's.
Would you agree? Do you think that's the case?
As a leader, it's yes. Sometimes I have very, very nice embrace from followers, but I mostly heard from other followers who, they come off. They'll come from a tanda and be like, "Wow, that was like." It's an embrace they've never experienced before.
Yeah.
And I think I first heard of this maybe. It wasn't in Argentina. It was, but it was at a festival, and it was a sort of a friend of a friend who had danced in Buenos Aires for quite a long time, and it looked very simple from the outside, and it didn't look particularly sort of the posture very upright or anything. But our friend came back and said that was like the most sort of amazing, mesmerizing sort of tanda embrace. And as a leader, you kind of feel, well, what is that? Like, how do I produce this? Right? Like, what is this magic? So. Yeah, I mean, I don't follow very much, so I've not experienced that maybe necessarily, but it's something that I aim to emulate.
And of course, in like milongas in Buenos Aires, you can't do much because there's not a lot of space. So the embrace is so important to the dance.
Yeah. If you don't even have that, then there's not much else to go on.
No. So you need to perfect that one then.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. Say anything else that you sort of any reflections you have about living in Buenos Aires or living this particular sort of lifestyle?
Well, for me, I have a lot of gratitude that I'm able to do this, and if I told my former self or younger self that I'd be doing this, I'd be probably amazed that I could actually do this. And I'm smiling a lot as I'm talking about it because I just feel so fortunate that I can do this, and I feel fortunate that I found tango because that again has been a major change in my life. If I hadn't found tango, I wouldn't be sitting here, or very unlikely to be sitting here, or learning Spanish, or having the movement and stuff that I have in my body and also it's quite a journey mentally, emotionally. The tango, learning tango and dancing tango has kind of opened so many things, thoughts and growth and spiritualness and just everything that tango has given me. And if I hadn't found that, I mean, I have no idea. I might have been in another situation that I've loved, that I absolutely love, but I've had such an amazing time being in the tango world, and I've met amazing people like you, and just it's just amazing. Yeah,
tango does seem to be something that once discovered, a lot of people reprioritize their lives.
Someone did say to me, I think it was maybe a teacher who jokingly said, if you're not learning Spanish and going to Buenos Aires, you're not really learning tango because that's the journey that
you go through.
you go through there. But yeah, I'm sure you don't need to do those things, but it's an absolute joy to do those things. Yeah.
Okay, well, great. Thank you very much.
It was my pleasure. I really enjoyed it.
It was really nice catching up again.
Good. Well, I should have said though that they, especially my son, they think it's quite cool that they tell their friends that because they're all dancers, like my son's friends, I'm dancing tango in Argentina, and they think he's got a very cool mum.
Oh, okay.
Which
That's
I
good.
quite
That's
like.
a good street cred.
Yeah, I'm not sitting at home knitting.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think my daughter thinks it's quite cool. Her friends think it's quite cool as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that covers just about?
I think it was good. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, who is this woman? And it's not my experience of milongas in Buenos Aires at all. Hopefully they go, I want to go where she goes.
Yeah.